Hi and hello, it's Kristen from Kristen and Her Books. Welcome back to my channel. I'm glad you're here. And today I am going to show you a little sneaky peek of my bedside table where I keep my TBR pile. And this is basically a constantly evolving stack of books. I'm always adding books to it that I want to read next and taking them away once I finish them. But there are some books on this TBR pile that tend to stay because I either say I'm going to get to them at some point and I don't, or whatever. So I'm going to be talking about some of the books that I expect to read sometime soon and some of them that I hope to read one day, but honestly maybe I won't. And I thought that the best way to do this video would be to start at the bottom and work my way up to the top. So without further ado, let's hop into it. All right, so the longest runner on my TBR pile, the one that has been there the longest, is the Writer's Digest annotated Jane Eyre. And the great thing about this version of Jane Eyre is that it's supposed to teach you how to write an epic story on the same level as Jane Eyre. And I have yet to finish it. I think that at this point I have decided that maybe I'm only supposed to read Jane Eyre for entertainment and not instruction, because it's just never happened. I have restarted this book 3 times with the purpose of learning from it on how to write a great story, and I just haven't been able to get through it. So I do hope to read it at some point, but as of yet, I have not. All right, the next book in my TBR stack is the 10,000 Doors of January. And to be quite frank with you, I'm not sure if this book actually belongs here, because I started it in December hoping that it would be this beautiful story. It's basically supposed to be a magical portal type of story where someone goes in through a door and it takes them into another world. Think Narnia, or a recent read that I enjoyed, The Starless Sea. Both of those should be similar to this, and yet I found this story lacking. So basically, I just don't think I connected with the main character whenever she traveled to the other world. I didn't like these parallel experiences that she had, and you can see I didn't get too far in it before I ended up putting it down. And do you know what book I picked up instead of this one? The Starless Sea, and I loved it. It was one of the best books I read in 2019. And this book, I'm pretty sure I'm DNFing. So it's sitting there in my stack like, hey, maybe you'll pick me up. But I honestly don't think that I will. I just didn't connect with it. I think maybe it had a lot of action in it. And to be quite frank with you, I'm not a big fan of action. Yeah. So 10,000 Doors of January is still in the stack for now, but probably not for much longer. The next book in my TBR stack is the Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky. And I love a good Russian classic. Give me all of the Anna Karenina, etc. I read Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky this past summer, and I enjoyed it greatly. I knew I wanted to pick up another Dostoevsky, and I'm really loving the Brothers Karamazov. As you can see, I've read a good chunk of it, but I did put it down. I think that I had kind of got burnt out on classics. I graduated college last year. One of my majors was English, so you know I was reading a bunch of classics anyways. And I kind of fell out of rhythm with reading classics, but I like to always have one at least on the back burner. And so whenever I'm in the mood for some Russian literature, some classic, I will pick it up again. Another long runner for my TBR pile is the Best American Poetry Anthology for 2019. If you've seen any of my videos, then you have, especially my older ones, then you will see this book coming up a lot. And it's not that I don't enjoy the poems in it. I do. I just think that I have to be in a very specific type of mood to read poetry. It's not something that I always pick up. So, that being said, I really enjoy the Best American Poetry Anthologies because the poems in them are always very thought-provoking and usually a little experimental. You're not going to find the same type of poems that you might find in like a Rupi Kaur, Milk and Honey style poem book, but these poems are even better in my opinion, and I do plan to get to this book at some point, I just haven't yet. Alright, and now we're getting to the part of the TBR stack where these books I will definitely read sometime soon. I'm really excited about them. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the next one. And that is The Testaments by Margaret Atwood. This is the second book in the Handmaid's Tale series. And of course, The Handmaid's Tale blew up, didn't it, whenever it got the TV series. And I read The Handmaid's Tale for the first time last year and really enjoyed it. So when the sequel kind of came out of the blue and surprised me, I was like, yes, give me some of this. I want more of this strange world where the certain people have babies and don't and all that jazz. Yes. I don't know much about the Testaments, and probably you could find a more detailed synopsis somewhere that tells you what happens in it more, but I'm excited to read it because I enjoy Margaret Atwood's writing style and this whole kind of strange topsy-turvy world that it exists in. Next in the TBR stack is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. And I have never read a Miss Peregrine's book, quite clearly. I've been talking about it for a while and I haven't. So I would like to go ahead and say thank you, fictional linguist, for all your talk about Miss Peregrines lately, because you are the reason that I am reading this. Obviously, this follows some peculiar children who I'm assuming live in Miss Peregrine's. And I know that the pictures inside of it are super spooky, and this is one that I will be reading very, very soon. Oh, hello. This book. Red, White, and Royal Blue. It has also been a book that I've owned for a while and have not read. I have started it and stopped again and again, but now I am currently focused on it. It's my current read right now, Red, White, and Royal Blue, and I am very much enjoying it. Obviously, you've probably heard of the story, but it follows the President of the United States and a British prince and their story of falling in love. It won basically all of the Good Read Choice Awards. People love it. They say it's funny and hilarious and sweet and cute, so I can't wait to read it as well. Next in the TBR stack is Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. This is a book that I heard Library Says talking about, so I wanted to pick it up because it did sound like something I would be interested in. As you can see, I got it a buy one get one 50% off from Barnes & Noble recently, which was awesome. And I think it's kind of like in a end of the world apocalyptic maybe type of situation, where there are also a traveling Shakespeare group. Do not quote me on what happens in this because, to be honest, I'm not sure. All I know is the traveling Shakespeare group premise really had me hooked, so that's why I'm looking forward to reading it. Next in the TBR stack is Still Me by Jojo Moyes. I think this might be the final book in the whole Me Before You series, and to be honest, I am trash for the Me Before You series. I love Louisa Clark and how quirky she is and how she struggles to find herself, because honestly, same, and I feel like this age group that I belong in, this early 20s, finding yourself age group, needs more representation, and so I'm excited about this book, and I'm excited and hopeful that Louisa Clark will maybe finally find a purpose for her life, and in doing so, maybe I will too. I don't know. I hope so. I'm excited. In this book, Louisa goes off to New York City and kind of creates a life for herself there. And finally, the last book in the TBR stack, it's so bare now, is One of Us is Next. This is the sequel to One of Us is Lying, a young adult thriller or mystery, possibly. I don't know. But it's a book that I read a few weeks ago on my January TBR, and I really enjoyed it. So I can't wait to see how the Bayview 4 get along in this one. I don't know anything about this book, but from the title, I'm thinking that one of them will die next. What do you think? Also, there's a couple in this book, Bronwyn and, oh my gosh, I lied. I haven't even opened this book, but so none of the characters are the same. New characters. It looks like there's some kind of copycat scenario going on. Is it even a sequel if none of the same characters are in it? It looks like it follows the younger sister, Maeve, from One of Us is Lying. Okay. Okay, that's fine. I think it'll probably still be good, but I'm kind of crushed. If Bronwyn's not in this one, I don't know if I want to read it, because I think the whole reason I liked that book so much was Bronwyn. Okay, well, we'll see. I'll let you know my thoughts on this one. All right, so there you have it, my whole bedside TBR, the constantly evolving pile of beauty and book galore that it is. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button in the comments below. Let me know what's on your current bookish TBR. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. I try to do new videos every Saturday and Wednesday, but if I don't, I do put out something at least once a week. Thanks for stopping by.